The land is our foundation, and Land Synergy is here to solidify and restore. Join us as we connect the dots of land restoration, sustainable practices, and self-sufficiency. It's time to get rooted.
Welcome back to Land Synergy, guys. So last episode we spoke about just how we was incorporating one of our recent projects and whatnot. And so we just wanted to touch bases on that a little bit more and shine some light on ash and charcoal and how you can incorporate this. So we actually just finished yesterday the tree. Pretty much all of it has been burnt down burnt down to ash. It's about one bucket full. That whole tree, it was so much just the mass, and now it's literally a bucket of ash. And of course, it's been put into the compost. Parts of it, we'll be adding it in layers to the compost. And so today we're just going to talk about the applicational aspects of ash and charcoal for you and your garden. So with the ash, guys, ash is essentially the mineral content. A large percentage of the minerals are calcium, and I believe, calcium is one of the biggest ones. So, and it's ironic because this nutrient is what plants need. I believe the cellular wall structure, it's just a foundational nutrient and mineral that the plants need. And so being able to incorporate that is great. So the ash content is minerals, and depending on the type of tree that you would burn and create into an ash, deciduous trees, at least from my research, have higher mineral content, and trees like pine trees, cedars, they have less mineral content. I don't know why. I'm still learning like you, but that's what I know thus far, or I'm aware of. So the ash, guys, how we are incorporating the ash is simply we put into a bucket. We're actually going to store this bucket, and it was easily a couple tons worth, maybe about a good, maybe 1 to 2 tons worth of tree, and now it's been reduced down to a bucket of ash. And what we're going to do is we actually have one heap that is currently being digested, if you will. It's currently being added to. So we simply add small handfuls into the compost, that one specifically, and we're just mixing it in, guys. That in itself, if you're going to have ash, you don't want to directly add this to your plants. If you can incorporate it into a compost, this allows it to break down. You could also use it as an insect repellent. But if it gets wet, a lot of its mineral content will be lost, and that's where it's not as potent or as effective. So if you're having any slug issues or things like that, using some dry ash could be helpful. Now, how we're using it is simply incorporating it into the homestead through the compost, at least right now. The reason being is we want to break it down. When it gets wet, some of the minerals are able to be dispersed and it makes it less potent. But if you're adding it to the compost, it's still allowing you to add those nutrients, that nutrient profile to your compost. So that's our objective currently. And then as we move forward and we develop more of a stockpile of ash, we will incorporate it onto the ground. So when we make a new garden bed, actually putting the ash on the ground and mixing it up a little bit and seeing how that fares. So, yes, we got a good bucket of ash. There's a little bit of charcoal mixed in just because the children, they, kind of messing with the fire. I got to continue to develop a systematic approach so that it's more efficient, where it's less ash. And what comes to mind quickly that I'll share with you guys is we have about a good 10 by 10 pit that we built, and on each side is three heaps of dirt. And this is just to mitigate any type of traveling from the fire. But moving forward, what the plan is going to be, what I want to create is the same type of pit, but definitely bigger, so that we could burn more. And then on each side actually having sand, like a layer of about a foot or two, like dig a trench around, and then have that layered with sand, just to make sure there's no type of traveling of the fire that it could ever travel. And from that, then on top, where so you got the pit, which is probably be like 3 to 4 feet down, and then from there having like some metal rods that extend across so that you can layer the wood on top and let it burn. You're able to have the flow of oxygen that's going down into the pit and then up, feeding the fire. But then the only thing that travels down is the small particles of ash. So you're getting less clay, you're getting less sticks that aren't burning through, charcoal, etc. That's at least what comes to mind for me that I'm gonna look forward into creating. I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that. If you just want a clean finished product with no pieces of charcoal, sticks, or clay in it, that could be helpful. If you have children, they definitely children love fire. I mean, who doesn't love fire? So they threw a toy in it yesterday, and I was a little upset because I told them, hey guys, we cannot put, if we can't eat it, we can't put it in here. And of course, they're all small. They're 3, 4, and 5. So, I mean, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's like I gotta be aware of my part in that process, that I enabled that behavior by not doing my due diligence and watching them, or having a structure in place. So, yeah, if you have children, especially young ones, I would not leave them by the fire alone unless you want basketballs and whole toys being thrown in. That happened actually a couple weeks ago, but that's a story for another day. So, the ash, guys, the ash component is the mineral content. If you want to add minerals to your compost, to your garden beds, having the ash on hand is a great source. Now, you don't want to add too much because it can be too. Now, I believe it lowers the acidity from my experience, but I'll keep you posted on that. But too much can be too overbearing for the plant. So that's why if you incorporate it into the compost, it allows it to break down into simpler forms. Um, Now the charcoal, we are also looking to create charcoal, but we have not found a efficient way to do this exactly yet, because what we're still learning. What we did is we had some huge chunks of logs that we tried to burn on each side so that the charcoals were being faced. One second, guys. Someone's calling me. Hello?
Hi, yes. My name is Holly, calling with commercialinsurance.net on a recorded line. We had received a request, sir, for a business insurance quote for land synergy.
Yes,
Synergy.
yeah, I don't currently need that anymore, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry I bothered you then, sir.
No,
I
it's
hope you have a
okay.
good day.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Bye bye.
Oh, I guess it's still recording, guys. You heard it. I don't know if you heard it, but we're just gonna keep all that in. It was pretty much insurance quote for land synergy. So, anywho, so pretty much, guys, the charcoal that we tried to create, we was trying to allow the whole thing to burn through, but from our experience the first time, in the very middle, there was pieces that were not burnt all the way through, and so it was still wood. So we're gonna continue to practice that, but with the charcoal, the reason why this is a great not portal, asset to your homestead, your garden, is because unlike ash disperses nutrients, whereas the charcoal, it it brings nutrients to it. It absorbs a lot. So like let's say you have a lot of nutrients at the bottom, or like let's say it's your garden doesn't have a lot of nutrients. Maybe it's clay and it's hard, the nutrients are locked up. What having charcoal can do is absorb and bring together a lot of these nutrients. So if those nutrients are near the roots, you're making it easier for the plant to obtain some of these nutrients by at the charcoal acting as an absorbent for the surrounding environment. So those two pieces, guys, charcoal and ash, that's going to be it for today's episode. We're not going to dive too deep, but great assets to your homestead. Charcoal acts as an absorbent that you can apply to your garden to bring nutrients together, and the ash is a potent source of minerals that can be applied to your garden as well. So until the next one, guys, continue to stay rooted, keep learning, keep synergizing, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.